Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is a very quick video, requested video on kit. Somebody asked about the little computer fans that are dotted around. There's a couple up there. They're in various places. First off, the fans themselves are 6-inch computer fans. They're readily available at various prices, in various styles. You know, you can get coilless ones, but basically, because I only need them to work, I don't need them to be silent or anything like that, because they're not going to be in my living room inside a computer. I just went for the cheapest ones I could find, and I think I've got 6 in here, and certainly 4 of them came in 2 packs for, I think, literally £6 or £7 for 2. They are very cheap items, or they should be. You can pay quite a lot of money for a computer fan, but for the purposes I'm using them for, there is no need. The next thing to consider with them is they nearly all come with 3 wires. Yeah. Across the board with mine, I mean, that one over there's got red, black and yellow. Some of the others have got red, black and white, but across the board with the ones that I've got, the 2 that are the power connectors are the red and the black. And quite honestly, because they're 12 volts, which way around they go really doesn't matter. But basically the white or the yellow is a way of interacting with something inside of the computer. So obviously they're not getting used for that, so those wires are irrelevant. They're running off of this here, which is nothing more than some sort of phone charger, but it needs to output 12 volts, and in this case this one is rated at 3 amps. Yeah, the computer fans are rated at 0.3 amps, so effectively that charger will run 10 of those before anything starts getting hot. And when you set it all up, if you're going to go for this sort of arrangement, the wiring does not need to be flash. It's only 12 volts. You know, you can get hold of that. It's nothing. So don't worry about wiring. As a precaution, I always turn that off if I'm fiddling around with the fans. But basically the charger will obviously come with some sort of socket on the end of it, you know, to plug into a phone or something like that. Well, obviously I've just cut that off and then joined up all the computer fans to the end. So basically the cable goes into there, and then it goes off round. You know, there's a wire goes up there, there's a wire goes up there, there's another one goes right round there and comes up over there where that one is, and there's one goes right round the bottom here on the floor and comes up round here and then splits into 3. To join them up, it's just a case of you know, if there's a wire comes round with 2 wires, you know, you can just attach the wires at that point and then run it on and attach some more and attach some more. The methodology really doesn't matter that much because they are only running 12 volts. Yeah, so as I said, it's the output from the charger that you need to watch. There will be a maximum output from the charger. Don't overload it or something will get hot. Better to err on the side of caution. As I say, a lot of the chargers do run at sort of 2.5 or 3 amps or 3.5 amps, whereas these, as I said, are 0.3 amps. So you've got to get quite a few of those stacked up before you start overloading the charger. Apart from that, the computer fans themselves do have a right way and a wrong way, because obviously air is going to get sucked in on one side and blown out on the other side. And the easiest way to find out if it's not obvious is just turn the thing on. You'll soon feel where the airflow is. Yeah. It's not dramatic airflow, but it's enough to move the air around. And I mean, these are circulating. They form a circulating function just round the top area of the grow room at night when the big ones aren't on. Yeah, so that's what those two do. They're nothing to do with plants, those two. They just move the air gently. Yeah. Whereas if you want to use them as having a cooling effect, they need to get a lot closer to the plants. Now, all three of these are being used as cooling fans. They keep the air moving over things like the Masdevallias, Restrepias, the Miltoniopsis, and yeah, so they can have a cooling effect if they're quite close to plants, or they can just have a circulating effect if they're not so close to plants and just pointing generally out in the direction of wherever your plants are. So that's all it is for this video. It's just a quick sort of kit thing. Cheap on eBay. I think the adapter, the charger element, I just call it an adapter because it takes 240 volts down to 12 volts. I don't need to know how or anything about it. All I need to know is that the wire that comes out the end has got 12 volts running on it once it's plugged in, and that's all I need to know. And as I said, you need to know its maximum rating so that you don't overload it. But apart from that, I mean, quite a lot of people have probably got a drawer full of these from old mobile phones that they once had. Yeah? Well, it doesn't matter what it was used for, as long as it chucks out 12 volts. Yeah? That's all you need to know. Yeah? So, and don't overload them, obviously. Apart from that, pretty straightforward. And as I said, you don't have to be an electrician or anything to muck about with this, because once you come out this end of the charger, everything's down at 12 volts, so it's safe. You know, you're not going to get all your hair standing on end and your teeth glowing in the dark by getting hold of that wire. It's pretty safe stuff. So there we go. So look at that, 3 ants in one go. 4. Phew. See, they are getting back in. Despite the smoke getting rid of them, they're back in again. And in numbers, I mean, that was just that one growth there. 4 ants on that at once, and another one on the wire down there. So they really do go for this. But it's because it's a nice magnet, it collects them all together, and they're easy to scoop up and squish. So it's their own downfall. And I don't get it, because this new growth here has no happy sap on it. It's absolutely dry, so I'm not quite sure why they're going for it. You know, there are other places where there's like sheaths that have got the little droplets. I mean, even this bloom up here, look, little drops on it. That's sticky stuff, happy sap. And the petal itself is sticky. That's sugar. And yet they seem to be ignoring that at the moment. Anyway, yeah, a little kit update. So there we go. A look at the computer fans and various uses. You won't get a gale force out of them. It's only a gentle breeze. You know, that's all you can get. You know, if you want gale force, if you want serious air movement, you need to stonk up the fan size. And as soon as you start doing that, you're probably not going to get anything that's 12 volts because it won't have the power to run a large fan. So you're back up to mains voltage again, where you do have to go very careful with your wires. Don't get hold of the end of that. Right, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.